Let's now shift our attention to what is happening in South Africa, where there's been a lot of uncertainty over the future of Cyril Ramaphosa as the president of the country. This after a parliamentary panel said that Ramaphosa may have committed acts contrary to the law. The constitution is of course, what is now being referred to here in terms of what the president has done. And some people within his own party, within Cyril Ramaphosa's party, are also asking questions of the president. But what is interesting is that the president has now dug his heels in. And the president's spokesperson has said that the president will not resign over the Farmgate scandal. The spokesperson went further and has called the parliamentary panel report as completely flawed. And has also said that the Ramaphosa government will be seeking a second term, and Ramaphosa will return as the leader of the African National Congress. The statement came after allies rallied behind Ramaphosa to stay on. Meanwhile, the ruling A.N.C will be holding a meeting of the National Working Committee later in the day today, followed by National Executive Committee meeting on Monday to decide the future course of action for Cyril Ramaphosa. Now, Ramaphosa, remember, has been under fire since the month of June after a leaked report found clear evidence that the South African president may have committed misconduct or a stash of cash that was stolen from his farm. Now, this, of course, is known as the Farmgate Scandal or the Cash and Cushion Scandal. And the former head of intelligence, Arthur Fraser, has alleged that Ramaphosa had tried to conceal the theft of a huge sum of cash that amounts to almost $580,000 from his farm in 2020. Now, Fraser has further accused Ramaphosa of money laundering and violating foreign currency control laws. However, Ramaphosa, for his part, has denied any wrongdoing and has insisted that the money was actually proceeds from the sale of his animals at his farm. His spokesperson also said that the president will challenge the report and also its findings, and Ramaphosa will now be contesting for the elections for the A.N.C presidency from the 16th of December. So this, of course, is the big developing story from South Africa, where the South African president Cyril Ramaphosa, it appears, has dug in his heels. He has said that he will not be resigning over the Farmgate scandal. And the president, what is interesting is, he keeps on insisting that he has done nothing wrong, despite the fact that there are clear allegations that he may have misappropriated funds to the tune of about $580,000. What is being said is that this $580,000 had been earned by him by selling the animals of his farms, essentially the buffaloes that he had in his farms. But questions have been asked as to how could the sale of buffaloes have yielded $580,000. Now, these are questions for which Cyril Ramaphosa has not given any clear answers. He also went on to state that this was money that was generated by selling the buffaloes from his farm. But what is interesting is that he had then hidden that cash, the notes of about $580,000, under the cushions of his sofa, which subsequently was stolen, which the president chose not to report to the police. Now, this is the reason why he's now been called, his conduct has been called into question. He's been accused of money laundering and nothing less than that. And despite the fact that he has not been able to give any convincing answers as to why he did not go to the police as soon as he became aware that this amount of cash was stolen, the president is still insisting that he did nothing wrong by stashing his money that he claims that he got by selling buffaloes of his farm. And he also went on to state that under the cushions was the safest place that he thought he could hide his money. These are the allegations against Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa. He had, of course, come to power by saying that he would clean up South African politics. He had said that he would clean up the corruption in South African politics. But now serious allegations of financial misconduct have been leveled against Cyril Ramaphosa. There's been talk of bringing in impeachment proceedings against him. But the president is insisting that he is not going to step down despite of the scandal. And what is more, he's also going to be contesting the next election as well. And to give us more insights in terms of how this scandal is, of course, playing out in South Africa, we're being joined by Mr. Peter Dupe, who is a correspondent from the Nation Media Group in South Africa. Now, Peter, this is a big scandal that the president of South Africa is embroiled in. He's not able to explain as to what happened to that cash that got stolen, but he's dug his feet in and has said that he is not going to resign but has also gone on to state that he will contest the next election as well for the presidency of South Africa.
Yes, yeah, that's correct. I think since June we've had, the reports. It's been an up and down in terms of that particular scandal. And earlier, last week we got wind of news that the president would eventually resign. And then he was supposed to address the nation on Thursday night, where everyone was anticipating that he would resign. But then we were told that he would not resign. And there's been a statement from his spokesperson to say he's going to fight the case. And I think the president probably feels that it's a ploy to basically discredit him and ahead of the party elections and also the upcoming presidential elections. So I guess he would want to fight and stand in the next election.
Absolutely, indeed. Now, the question that I also want to follow up with, Peter, is the fact that, Cyril Ramaphosa, before he became the president of South Africa, he had said that he'll in fact come forth and clean the South African politics of corruption and financial misconduct. But clearly, looking at the allegations that have now been levelled against him, he appears to have completely failed in cleaning up the corruption in South African politics, but is now at the heart and centre of a corruption scandal there.
Yeah, look, I think if you remember very well when he was deputy president to Jacob Zuma, one of the things he kept saying was that, when he was campaigning to be president, he was basically saying that he would actually clean up corruption. And you'd remember that they even set a commission that basically was called the State Capture Commission, which was aimed at cleaning up corruption. And a lot of it was actually linked to the former president, Jacob Zuma.
Right.
And so the expectation was that he would come in and obviously clean up and ensure that there is no corruption, because I think you'd know in the last couple of years, corruption has affected South Africa in a massive way. So the expectation was that he would be a different leader.
Right.
And obviously this tarnishes his image, as president, and hence there was that expectation that he would step down, because of these allegations.
Right. Now, my last question to you, Peter, is this. Now, Cyril Ramaphosa is insisting that he will not step down, but not just that. He said that he'll also contest the next election as well as the leader of the A.N.C. So the question that I want to ask you is, although this is a story that's been reported extensively on a global stage within South Africa and with the South African people, how much has it resonated? How much have these corruption allegations damaged the image that Cyril Ramaphosa has within South Africa?
Look, man, you see, I think the challenge that the president has now is that at this point, the economy continues to, on a downward slide. Things are not looking good in terms of the economics of the country. And for the ordinary person, it comes at a time where there are things like power cuts, electricity cuts. Just before you called me for probably 2 hours, I had no electricity in my house. Right. So it comes at a time where people are obviously not happy with what's happening, under his leadership. So the expectation was that he would turn things around, but it seems that things are going, the opposite direction. And obviously this worsens, things for him, tarnishes his image because, the president has failed to give a. In fact, he has admitted that there was money that was stolen. Of course, what he's disputing is the amount.
Right.
But that being said, it's a problem, for any citizen. And I think when I look at the sentiments of South Africans, particularly on social media, when they respond to, the presidency, you can tell people are tired,
Right.
People are not happy. And obviously within the ANC, you have a faction that has always not wanted him, the people that supported the former president, Jacob Zuma. So it basically worsens, his position. And it remains to be seen whether he will be able to convince them that he's the right man to stand for the ANC.
Indeed. I think that, of course, is the nub of this entire issue, because the South African public, how do they view this corruption scandal that Cyril Ramaphosa has got into? That, of course, is what we will continue to track over the course of the next few weeks and months. Thank you very much indeed, Peter, for joining us and getting us all those insights there.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.